All right, so let's take a look at the passage "Inventing a Game: How Basketball Was Born." Um, so just follow with me as I read aloud. Okay, here we go. Um, Pause right here and allow the students to get out last night's homework and to switch and check, please. Thank you. All right, here we go. Inventing a Game: How Basketball Was Born. It was the cold winter of 1891, and the adult students at the Springfield YMCA training school in Massachusetts were growing restless. They hated the boring routine of jumping jacks and weightlifting. Not even the teachers thought these activities were fun, but they had run out of ideas. Finally, the school's director called a meeting. "We need a new indoor game," he told the gathering of exhausted instructors. Then he looked at a young teacher named James Naismith. "You," he said with a pointed finger, "come up with something. You got 2 weeks." For the next 13 days, Naismith experimented with ideas for a brand new game. Nothing worked. Kicked balls shattered gym windows, tackles left students' bodies bruised and bloody after they crashed to the hard wooden floor, but Naismith wouldn't give up. He had one last desperate idea. The next morning, he rushed to the gym. He grabbed a soccer ball from the equipment room and, as his mystified students watched, hammered 2 peach baskets to the walls. He then scribbled 13 rules for playing his new game and tacked them on the gym's bulletin board. Players could not run with the ball. Let me stop right here. Make sure, guys, that you still have your paper. You have not switched. You've not switched yet. Okay. I'm sorry. Make sure you don't have your paper. You have switched. All right. And make sure that I don't see any like stray marks or anything. And if there are some, facilitator, if you want to pause in just a second to make sure that you've like looked at the papers that have stray erase marks already on them. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. He then scribbled 13 rules for playing his new game and tacked them on the gym's bulletin board. Players could not run with the ball. There would be no kicking or tackling. To score a point, a player must toss the ball into the basket. The new game didn't have a name yet, but it soon would. Basketball. The first game on December 21st didn't start smoothly. The players ran with the ball and knocked each other down. Nobody wanted to pass. But the thrill of making a basket soon had the men hooked. They loved the new game, and other classes loved to stop and watch. The game spread to other classes. Even the students at a nearby women's school started to play. Basketball quickly became a sensation, so it got super popular. Students took the game home to their local YMCA's. Colleges like Yale and the University of Iowa began playing regular games. By 1936, the sport became an Olympic event. 10 years later, professional basketball began, and the National Basketball Association soon followed. Sports in America and the world would never be the same. The first game in 1891 didn't have backboards, three-point shots, dribbling, or 7-foot players who earned millions of dollars. But amazingly, most of Naismith's original rules still hold. So the next time you see a basketball game on TV, remember that it all started one morning more than 100 years ago. You know what? I sense a theme here, right? So James Naismith, we can give him credit for creating or inventing the game of basketball. However, who knows, right, what's inside of you? You may be the next trailblazer with the next sensational, innovative, or creative idea that no one's heard before, and who knows, it might become the next sensation. All right, trailblazers. All right, so let's take a look at the questions now. This article is mostly about C, the invention of basketball. Give them a check or an X. Make sure that you place your initials in the corner with the check symbol. Number 2, why did James Naismith invent basketball? He invented it to entertain students at the YMCA. Number 3, in the first sentence, restless means, based on the context and the way it's used, it means bored. Those students were bored at the YMCA. Number 4, which of the following is a fact? Okay, it's definitely in. Basketball began with 13 rules. The other ones, since we've become masters at identifying opinion, first of all, we know we're going to hear the person's voice, so we're going to hear the voice. And we've talked about voice all year, so it's going to be a personal voice that we hear. And when you're identifying an opinion, it'll be able to eliminate which ones are facts versus opinions. So if you can find an opinion, then you should be able to find a fact, and vice versa. Remember, facts, no matter who shakes or quakes, it's not going to change. All right. It's set in stone, if you will. Number 5, when did professional basketball begin? You had to do some calculating here, and you should have come up with the 1940s. And number 6, why did the author write this story? And it was definitely, we've talked about the 4 main authors' purposes, and sometimes they're worded a little differently, but they pretty much in general mean the same thing. So the standardized author's purposes are not iPad, but iPed, we learned, and they are to inform, persuade, entertain, or describe. So in this case, this author's purpose for writing the story is to inform you about a part of basketball history. All right, keep in mind that these, every time we do one of these, you're going to be given awards. So next week, I'll be giving out awards. This is another 6-pointer. So if your person missed 1, give them an 83 plus 2, so 85. And remember, we add in that 2 because by the time we get to a person that's missed 5, we're at 17 times 5, which is, we're at 17 times 5, and we take that up. And when we have that, we have like the person like gets a 15. So I wanted to make sure that we factor in those 2 points, and I'll explain this a little bit later. It's like a little bit hard. It's like a little difficult to explain the scoring piece, so I'll break it down to you and like show it to you later. But like, just trust me. So 83, go ahead and factor in 2 points. 85, they missed 2, 66 plus 2, 67. 49 plus 2, 51. 30, if they missed 3, that's a 49 plus 2, 51. If they missed 4, it's 32 plus 2, so they made a 34. If they missed 5, and nobody should have missed more than 4 or 5. Matter of fact, nobody should have missed 3. Nobody should have missed 2. I know there's some folks in there. I know some of you guys made hundreds. And then they missed 5, they have a 15. They missed them all 0. So if they got them all right, give them 100. Circle it, give them a big fat smiling face. Keep in mind that every time we do these, it's a competition. It is a competition. You guys gonna get your prizes. Also, keep in mind that this goes straight into Power School because I love y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm a scorekeeper too. So I give you what you give me. So all these are going into Power School to be average. So always, always do your best. Remember to read from beginning to end, no matter what, with lots of expression. I really wish that I was there with you guys. And on Tuesday, when we come back from Monday's Memorial Day break, we're hitting the ground running, and we're gonna go ahead and play the big game. You guys have been coached. You've been trained. We've done huddles, figuratively speaking. We've talked about the strategies to win. So just do it. If you want it, I'm telling you, I've been telling you guys, I got this feeling I'm gonna see some 100%ers. If you want it, go get it. All right, love you guys. Oh, facilitator, please go ahead and collect all of the papers, and I'll sort through them. Thank you.